old age, let them walk free. Per man, he's faced.
Okay, so ma'am, the point that you're mentioning is that this is going to be a case. I just want to make
one.
Yeah, go ahead.
One point here, which is very important. I realize that this is going to be a problem. That's why after the High Court gave the verdict and refused to entertain our petition for 304 Part 2, I wrote to the Law Commission of India, I wrote to the President, and I said there need to be a law to deal with the man-made mass disaster. And this should have maximum up to 14 years of imprisonment. The Law Commission of India, I went and met them. They have also suggested, after my representation, that yes, there needs to be a change. I met Mr. Moily, he was the law minister at that time. They all agreed with me that we do need a law to deal with man-made disaster. Because 304A is not sending down a message that we want to send. There is no deterrence. But unfortunately, that Law Commission report is lying with the government. I have written to the law minister who came in this government earlier, but nobody seems to bother. There is no will. I'm sorry. What all can we do? We are asking, and it's not for me. It will not be retrospective, so it's not going to affect my case. But for future tragedies, if you want some deterrence, it is important to bring in a change in the law. Have a special law to deal with such mass tragedies, please. Don't we value human lives? Thousands of lives have been lost in the last 28 years because of fires. And I come to the studios and I discuss them each time, and I feel defeated that I've not been able to bring in the change that I want to.
Mr. Das, would you like to reflect on what Neelam ji has said? Because I think there's so much there that's critical. You know, as we in the media report this, as we talk about this grave crime, is there a very legal possibility, a very real possibility legally, that these people can be let off on bail soon, and even when they are charged, the punishment would be relatively minor? I ask this because 25 people are dead, and yet the possibility of them, based on past precedents, getting away relatively lightly is quite feasible. I mean, that's Mrs. Krishnamurthy's argument. Do you agree?
Well, so this is 105 under the new statute, which is culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Now, I think it's too early to come to a conclusion whether there'll be conviction or not, because there are multiple layers of investigation. There are multiple factors involved, like the way the laws have been evaded. There's no approval, no sanction, fire safety, approval was not taken. There are multiple factors. Once the investigation is complete, I think this, whether conviction happens or acquittal happens, we'll get to know later. But I think law as such, of course, is stringent. There may be some loopholes, but it's subject to the investigation. So definitely, once things move ahead, then...
No, but Mr. Das, it's not just subject to loopholes, it's also subject to past legal precedent. And in the case of the Upahar tragedy, the grounds on which the Ansals were let off, the arguments made forth, not the arguments, but the position stated by the judges about age, these are all valid points. I mean, Mrs. Krishnamurthy is sitting here 28 years later continuing to fight this case. Why? Because it is her argument that they need to be sentenced for a longer period of time. The courts have said that no, that's not something that we are willing to grant that easily. So she's in challenge of that. So the point she makes, and I think this is important, and Dilip, would you like to come in on this, is that these are privileged people, they are wealthy people, they know the law, they've hired excellent lawyers already, right? This is something which can be bailable in a finite period of time, and then this will continue going on with no guarantee of a quick process of justice. And there is precedent to suggest that it could be quite slow. Is that a worry?
It should be a worry for all of us as citizens and those who are exposed to public places where clearly laws are being flouted. I think the fact that we have the ability of people like this to juggle around between the sections and to make sure that investigators, investigating agencies, governments can do their best to minimize the effect on them is something that we all are aware of and should be concerned about as citizens who are not just exposed to this, but are watching this day after day. So I think the call for justice. And what Mr. Krishnamurthy said is that the fight has been on for a while, but the fact is that there is little progress as long as extremely talented lawyers, which you are entitled to have if you have the ability to hire them, are able to push for the clauses that work better for their clients. And I think that the real culpability in this goes far beyond the owners to the process of licensing and the way things are run in many, many parts of the country.
Surjendu Das, I'm just trying to understand, you're standing counsel for Goa and you're obviously leading all efforts to prosecute the Luthra brothers. But what about prosecuting those within your own state who bent laws, broke the rules, gave permission to construct in an area where they shouldn't have built it? What are you doing about that?
Yes, as I said earlier, that investigation is on and everyone will be brought to justice if someone has flouted, be it within the state, outside the state. The law will take its course, and of course, appropriate steps will be taken against the authority or the person responsible for this.
Avishkar Singhvi, I think the concern, and we were talking about this with Mrs. Krishnamurthy even last night, is that in as much as we talk about the Luthra brothers, they took a flight, they ran away to Phuket, then they were caught, will they be brought back through Interpol, extradited, whatnot, legal process over there? We are not spending enough time, and that's partly my fault, on the people who are responsible. The Luthras are certainly responsible, but what about the others who let them get away with this before any murder, before any death could take place? So we're missing the entire focus, right? The Luthras should never have been allowed to construct that place, number one. Who is the person who allowed that? Who gave the fire clearances? Who gave the land clearances? And this is one example of a casualty, of a death. There must be countless other cases like this in Goa. How many properties are illegal? Isn't that the larger issue?
So I think this is...
Sorry, go ahead, Avishkar.
Yes. So you're absolutely right as far as saying that this is a much larger issue. But, you must understand how Goa is as a place. It's got a rural-urban mix. And if you see the kind of places that are coming up over there, which are in extremely scant conditions. And I mean, you see the way they forget about having fire clearances and having safety exits and ambulances reaching. The lanes are so narrow that you can possibly not even have people access to, or if a fire sort of breaks out. So there are several severe lapses, and I mean, you have to look at it at a much larger level. Whether bribing somebody at the panchayat and getting a clearance and an NOC works for someone is something we are all happy with, and and nobody everyone turns a Nelsonian blind eye to these things. So that's one. The other thing is that you mentioned compensation. I mean, getting let off. So there's also, I mean, for whatever it's worth, I know it'll never bring back the people who have gone and the lives of the people, and it's very sad. But there's also a civil compensation which can also be worked out in this case, which should be done, as was there, as Ms. Krishnamurthy would say, that in the Upar case, I think there was a tune of money that was paid. So I think that should also be done in a swift manner. And there should be money paid to the families of the victim as some sort of
but you do make an important point when you say that that's hardly that'll never bring back the people who died. But there are so many issues here. But at least these people are in detention. They have the right to lawyers, but it's not going to be an instant process. It's not going to be instant in bringing them back to India. It's not going to be instant in terms of the legal process over here. Not unless a judge wants it to be that and believes that the evidence is strong enough. So it might be a wait. We'll take a short break, come back with more. Thank you all very much for being with us.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country,
Hard questions.
in the Ukraine,
30 years of trust.
in the Kargil area,
North Ukraine, in France, in Italy.
at Srinagar, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What does Sufism mean to you?
Sufism is about love. Higher ideals are more fascinating than normal love song or anything. Talk about Khwaja Mere Khwaja, Kun Faya Kun. It's all about higher ideals.
I'm bringing the same spirit to Delhi. So book your tickets from District app. See you, Delhi.
They rule the world. Won 1 billion hearts. Now, meet the champions who made the nation proud. The Indian women's cricket team at the NDTV Indian of the Year.
I just feel very privileged in the film industry, an industry that I'm extremely proud of.
I'm honored to receive this prestigious award.
I feel overwhelmed that the NDTV has chosen me for this very special award.
Thank you so very much. This means a lot to me.
It's a great honor and a great privilege.
Really blessed to get this, and I'm really happy.
This is one of the few moments I'm going to be humble, so please record this properly, guys.
आज का दिन सबसे पहले जो फुट सोल्डर्स जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स जो टीम है उनको सेलिब्रेट करने का है.
And the NDTV Indian of the Year Award 2025 goes to
NDTV Indian of the Year 2025, 19 December, New Delhi. Ideas, inspiration, impact.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause. I reflect. I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest, but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad साहब ऐसे मत कीजिए Suddenly, people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship. The line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right, and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What does Sufism mean to you?
Sufism is about love. Higher ideals are more fascinating than normal love song or anything. Talk about Khwaja Mere Khwaja, Kun Faya Kun. It's all about higher ideals.
I'm bringing the same spirit to Delhi. So book your tickets from District app. See you, Delhi.
They rule the world. Won 1 billion hearts. Now, meet the champions who made the nation proud. The Indian women's cricket team at the NDTV Indian of the Year.
I just feel very privileged in the film industry, an industry that I'm extremely proud of.
I am honored to receive this prestigious award.
I feel overwhelmed that the NDTV has chosen me for this very special award.
Thank you so very much. This means a lot to me.
It's a great honor and a great privilege.
Really blessed to get this, and I'm really happy.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Newsnight with me, Raisha Sehgal. On the show tonight, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with US President Donald Trump and reviewed the progress of the India-US Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership. This phone call comes right after the Russian president's visit to India. What are the amplifications, the ramifications of this phone call? We'll tell you about that on the show tonight. We'll also tell you about the end game for the Luthra brothers as the court in New Delhi denies interim bail. All the details on that on Newsnight tonight, but first the headlines. First phone call between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump after Putin's India visit amid trade negotiations. The Luthra brothers facing culpable homicide charges over the death of 25 people at their Goa nightclub last week were denied bail by Delhi court and will be brought back to India tomorrow. Indigo CEO has been summoned again by DGCA, set to meet the Committee of Officers at Director General of Civil Aviation tomorrow. In fiery remarks targeting the special intensive revision of voter lists in poll-bound West Bengal, Trinamool Congress leader and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee asked women of the state to be prepared with kitchen tools if their names are deleted during the voter list review. Political war explodes over the Deepam Rao in Tamil Nadu over lighting a flame at a temple. The RSS chief wades in, says Hindus can resolve issue. The DMK and Congress hit out, say it's toxic Hindutva politics. Hema Malini hosts a prayer meeting today in Delhi for the late movie icon and her husband, Dharmendra. Home Minister Amit Shah attends along with top ministers and Hema Malini's family members. A top focus in Newsnight. As speculation about an imminent trade deal between India and the US gathers steam, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump spoke over the phone and discussed expanding cooperation in various areas. A statement said that the two leaders reviewed progress in the US-India partnership and discussed expanding cooperation in key areas, including trade, critical technologies, energy, defense, and even security. Prime Minister Modi also posted about the call with the US President on X, terming the conversation warm and engaging. The timing of the call is extremely crucial as it comes at a time when ties between the US and India have seen a slide. That is, since 25% penalty for New Delhi's purchase of Russian oil, in addition to 25% of tariffs. The question now being is, will there be thaw in trade ties between India and the United States of America? Let's now tell you more about the Modi-Trump phone call and what it means and what were the issues that were discussed. Number one, India-US Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership was the core agenda of the phone call between the US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They also discussed steady growth in cooperation between Washington and New Delhi. Enhanced bilateral trade was also discussed between both the countries. Now, when we talk about bilateral cooperation, there were three critical areas that were discussed. Number one, critical technologies, energy, and third, defense and security. Apart from all these issues, key regional and global developments were also discussed in that phone conversation between US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And well, for more on this, my colleague Aditya Rajkol is now joining me live. Aditya, first phone call between Prime Minister Modi and Trump after Putin's India visit. What do you make of this phone call in which a slew of areas were covered? And in your analysis, are we expecting a trade deal between India and US soon?
Well, Rahisha, the timing couldn't have been better. I mean, it's a very strategic timing coming at a time when Putin visited India. And it was a very successful visit from the perspective of Moscow and New Delhi both. It also comes at a time when Quad meeting is not happening. That was going to be hosted by New Delhi. And of course, Trump also is not visiting India. But there was a senior trade level delegation that visited India recently from Washington, D.C. We also had a senior political official from the U.S. State Department visiting India and meeting several of the counterparts, including Vikram Misri, the Indian Foreign Secretary. So the phone call has been very pragmatic. There seems to be some kind of a desperation from the Washington, D.C. side as well to have a trade deal soon. But of course, India is trying to be a hard bargainer because India has neither been confrontational nor submitted itself completely before Trump. So India has acted according to its strategic autonomy and also a very pragmatic diplomatic approach by India's foreign ministry and also the diplomats. So as of now, we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold in the next few weeks. It will be very crucial to see if the phone call and the bonhomie that is being spoken about and Trump praising Modi also on several occasions on social media, but also trying to be a hard bargainer, trying to put pressure in the form of claiming that US had a critical role to play in the India-Pakistan ceasefire. That certainly is not taken lightly by New Delhi. India has not accepted that, of course. But a very important conversation coming at a very significant time, Raisha, in which military ties, defense, security has been discussed, trade has been discussed, critical minerals have been discussed as well. And how to enhance this bilateral cooperation will be the top priority area. So I won't be surprised if in the next couple of months, we could possibly see a trade deal.
Right, Aditya, thanks for getting us the latest on this. All right, from one big story to the other, the end game of the Luthras. And in the next few minutes, we'll get you all the latest as to how the Luthras will be facing law. Now, to a quick update on the Goa nightclub fire case, the Luthra brothers, owners of the nightclub in Goa, where 25 people died in a fire incident over the weekend, were detained in Thailand today. And Indian officials, along with Goa police, are now working overtime to deport them back to India at the earliest. Sources tell us that the Luthra brothers will be deported in the next 24 hours. Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra were detained in Thailand today, but early in the day, a Delhi court rejected the transit anticipatory bail pleas of Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra. The accused sought 4 weeks of transit anticipatory bail so that they were not immediately arrested after they returned to Delhi from Thailand. But with the bail plea now being rejected of both the brothers, there are no obstacles in the way for their arrest. NDTV also accessed the Interpol Blue Corner notice against the Luthra brothers. The notice declares that Luthras as persons of interest in a major crime probe, and sources confirm the Blue Corner alert helped track them down. Sources further reveal that the Luthra brothers admitted to immigration officials about knowledge of the fire at their club Birch by Romeo Lane. However, they did not concede to charges that they fled the country. Well, the Goa Chief Minister has now said that justice will be fast-tracked and assured justice for the victims against the Luthra brothers. The Goa Chief Minister also outlined that the CBI and Goa police will be flying to Thailand. Take a listen.
मैंने पूरे इस केस की फिर एक बार रिव्यू लिया है और रिव्यू लेने के बाद यानी मैं तो द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गोवा पुलिस और बाकी सभी यानी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के एजेंसीज के थ्रू इनको हमने वहाँ से जल्दी ही विद द हेल्प ऑफ देम उठा के उनको हम लेके आएंगे।
और सर इस पूरे मामले में आज कोर्ट में एंटीसेप्टरी बेल के लिए अप्लाई किया था, उसमें गोवा सरकार पर जो है
हमारे सीनियर काउंसिल वहाँ पे हमें गोवा की केस स्टैंड कर रहे हैं। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि उनको बेल नहीं मिलेगी।
सर गोवा से कोई पुलिस ऑफिसर थाईलैंड जाएगा, कोई इस दिन से
बिल्कुल गोवा की टीम जाएगी।
All right, staying on with this story, NDTV has been tracking the story straight from Thailand, where the accused Luthra brothers are in detention. And my colleague Teshri reports from Phuket, showing the route that Luthra brothers took after landing at the airport and reaching the hotel. Take a look.
Well, NDTV is in Phuket and we are tracking all the development as far as the deportation of Luthra brothers is concerned. Currently, let me tell you that we are on the same route that was taken by Luthra brothers when they landed here in Phuket. The manner in which they fled the country, that was quite dramatic and suspicious as well. That has raised several questions, and hence a blue corner notice was issued against them here in Thailand. Now they have been they are in detention and the immigration police is now questioning them. They also in fact have accepted the fact that yes, they owned a restaurant, a club that was named as Romeo Club, which was set ablaze and has now turned into ashes. But yet they have not accepted the fact that they fled the country. Now the question, the interrogation, the questioning is underway. What we are also getting to know is that it is tomorrow that they could be produced in the court. But the fact of the matter is, this is the same route that they followed after landing over here in Phuket. They got down at the airport and came over here to this particular hotel from where we are reporting right now. And finally, NDTV has reached this hotel. That's the Hotel Indigo from where we are reporting right now. And we have finally reached over here, tracking the route, the path that these Luthra brothers had taken to abscond and take a shelter over here.
Well, NDTV's reportage ensured the Luthras were detained, and we were the very first channel to break the news. Let's now take a look at this report.
Terrible nightclub fire that killed 25 people in Goa on Saturday night. 3 suspended officials responsible for issuing permits and licenses to the Birch nightclub.
A massive blaze, 25 dead, and a transnational manhunt for the coward Luthra brothers, who fled the country as their staff and guests were burnt alive at their Birch club in Goa.
owner of this entire club has been absconding for a very long time.
NDTV has reached one of the club in the national capital, which is in Defence Colony.
Property that is owned by the Luthras, NDTV is the first channel that has managed to reach here.
Since the Goa club fire, NDTV relentlessly pursued the hunt for the Luthra brothers, Gaurav and Saurabh. Tracking the investigation and their whereabouts as the brothers evaded responsibility and arrest. Even as the system patted itself on the back with action against small fish, some hotel staff and government officials, NDTV kept the focus on the real villains of the piece, the Luthra brothers, who built the tinder box called Birch and vanished after the deadly fire. NDTV's continuous pursuit of justice for the fire victims kept the heat on the Luthras and agencies on their toes.
The Delhi-based businessmen owners of the Birch nightclub in which 25 people were killed on Saturday night.
As the country and agencies wondered where the Luthra brothers were, NDTV was the first to report that the cowards had fled to Thailand.
Spotted at the airport in Thailand.
That news break by NDTV set the agencies in motion as Goa cops moved to get an Interpol notice against the absconders and the MEA moved to cancel passports. NDTV is also the first network to report live from Thailand.
Phuket immigration have told and they had approached the immigration counter close to 11:30 Thailand time.
On Tuesday, after NDTV confirmed that the Luthra brothers were indeed in Thailand, and we showed you first images of Gaurav Luthra from the Phuket immigration counter.
Those are the first images coming in, exclusive images here on NDTV.
On Wednesday afternoon, NDTV broke the news of Luthra's detention in Thailand, a day before other networks had any whiff of the news.
From the detention center in Phuket, Saurabh Luthra there that you can see on your screens.
As the Luthra brothers moved court for anticipatory bail, playing victims and claiming that they were in Thailand for work.
In the most cowardly fashion, hiding in Phuket in Thailand. Why are they not here in India? They clearly
NDTV burst their lies and reported that the Luthras had in fact booked their Thailand tickets just 90 minutes after the Goa club fire. So much for their claims that they cared.
90 minutes after the fire broke out, these two brothers were sitting on their laptops booking tickets.
On Thursday morning, the MEA cancelled their passports and paved the way for their detention by Thailand cops.
Now, the Goa police also asked the MEA to cancel the passports.
NDTV brought you the first images of the brothers in Thai police custody and reported live from the detention center.
Now, these are the pictures, the ground pictures that we are giving you just outside the Phuket immigration.
NDTV's relentless focus on the absconders and pursuit of justice for fire victims kept the system on the move and ensured that the Luthras land where they belong, behind bars. An NDTV Bureau report.
All right, new details are now emerging in the deadly Goa club fire case, raising serious questions about the operations and network behind Birch by Romeo Lane. Sources now say a web of proxy arrangements, questionable documentation, and possible attempts to distance key accused from the day-to-day functioning of the club. Take a look.
As investigation deepens, a web of concealment and proxy management is unraveling. Sources tell NDTV that Saurabh Luthra, one of the owners of Birch by Romeo Lane, was allegedly using a mobile phone and SIM card registered in another person's name, a resident of Delhi's Burari area. Investigators are now probing whether this individual is linked to Luthra's staff and whether the arrangement was used to mask the accused's communication trail. But that's not all. Sources revealed that multiple club-related documents, including crucial operational paperwork, were allegedly prepared in the name of Bharat, the Luthra brothers' driver, projecting him as the operational head of the club. Bharat has already been arrested by the Goa police, raising sharp questions over whether employees were used as fall guys, while real control stayed with the owners. Investigating agencies are now examining whether this structure was intentionally designed to create legal buffer, shielding the Luthra brothers from accountability in case of scrutiny or disaster. The tragedy itself was catastrophic. A fire tore through the nightclub, killing 25 people, most due to suffocation, exposing shocking lapses in fire safety, emergency exits, and crowd management. Now, with fresh revelations of proxy documentation, concealed identities, and questionable operational chains, the investigation has widened. From how the fire happened to who controlled the business behind closed doors. Authorities are closely analyzing financial records, communication logs, and ownership trails to determine whether this was systemic evasion, not negligence. NDTV Bureau Report.
Well, the Adani Group chairman and founder Gautam Adani inaugurated vocational training for specially abled and also a cloud kitchen in Dhanbad in Jharkhand. The initiative underscores a larger message: inclusion, opportunity, and self-reliance for every child. Take a look.
A message of hope from Dhanbad. Adani Group chairman Gautam Adani visited Pehla Kadam School and Narayani Charitable Trust in Jharkhand. Institutions that have become lifelines for children with disabilities from underprivileged backgrounds. During the visit, Gautam Adani inaugurated the Nai Udan Cafe, a first-of-its-kind initiative designed to provide vocational training to children with disabilities. The cafe aims to equip them with real-world skills, from food preparation and service to cafe operations, helping them move towards self-reliance.
Hello, Guru. Hello.
Interacting with the children, Gautam Adani appreciated the work being done by the school and the trust and assured continued support to